Well, everybody, y'all gonna have to wait until 6:40 because my mama ain't home. I'm at my grandma's house. But y'all gonna have to wait until 6:30 so we get through the 98 glitch. Well, here y'all. I'll give y'all hints. Well, how to do it? Okay, you get on 2K19 or 20. Damn, nigga, no me. Get off me. Ow. Damn, neck. So this is how you do it. Get on 2K19. You go to create roster. Then join a session. If you don't have anybody's session, just join a clan. Just join a group. Then you join their session in 2K19. Then all you have to do is go to your nav, which is triangle. Go to NBA team, hit roster, then hit triangle. Now put everything on 99. But this is only, well, matter of fact, it's permanent. So you can do as much you want. But I recommend do not get banned. And let's see. No, let's see. Oh yeah, do not. If it still says what your current overall is, go to my player. Then go out. But do not check your attributes, your card, or anything else, which will mess up and start you all over again. So okay, if you really want to do it, listen. I already got my view. So y'all gonna have to wait here for a little while. We only get like 4 hours left until I go home, which the thing will end, and like by the time I'm finished, I'll show y'all some gameplay. Then yeah, we're gonna hit it up. I'll be back. Dang it.
Yep, you doing that.
So okay, I'm back. If y'all want to learn how to do the glitch, 2K19, here's the glitch. So okay, you go to 2K19, you start the application, right? And make sure you have internet. But okay, let's go here real quick. You go to create roster. Okay? You join somebody's session. And by the way, this works for Xbox, PS4, and PS4 only. nothing else. But you can also try in 2K20. And by the way, here's a recommender. Do not get banned by 2K because they will catch you doing it. And they will catch you too. Because somebody got caught once. It was sad. They lost their account. They got banned like permanently. I don't know. But all I know is they got banned. But be careful while doing this glitch. This 98 glitch. So, and by the way, the second viewer, this is permanent. Permanent. I mean it too. But if you exit out, like, if you mess it up, I believe you can do it again after like 10 or 5 times. But make sure you follow these instructions, okay? Move, nigga. This is my dog. Move. But okay, here we go. Okay, you go on 2K19 or 20. You go to create roster. You hit quick edit. You join a session. Okay? But am I going too fast? Leave it right there in the comments. And make sure you hit a like button and subscribe. So yeah. Alright. So when you join that session, you go to your nav and go to NBA team. Then you hit triangle. Nope, not options. Not options. Triangle. Then put everything at 99. Put everything at 99. Just not the attributes. Put badges on Hall of Fame. Put the personality badges on everything and stuff. Put your hot spots on hot everything, and put your I don't know, but it's just your places where you shoot and what the chances are that you can win. So by the way, if you want to buy animations, you can, but make sure you do ball control, because if you mess up, I guarantee you after 5 tries, you'll be sad. Ooh, I did after 4 tries. I almost died. So, yeah. Come back at like 6:40, I guess. Because I'm in a country right now in the Mondex. What? Daddy? What? No. Daddy, why you in my stream? Answer. So, yeah. I'm gonna have to learn to like shoot 40 when I get home. Stuff. Thanks, though. Was that the one that you dropped the like? Thanks, though. Shout out. Just remember. By the way, remember how to do the split. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Okay. It's been 10 minutes, I believe. I'll be back. Bless you. No.
Buggy boat.
Okay, I'm back. This is the second viewer, though. Oh, yeah. I've been thinking about my Xbox for a while. So, did they?
No. Last name. Damn it.
Did.
Last name.
Minutes ago, Kansas State leading Oklahoma. It's the huge story of the day. But just moments ago, Jalen Hurts on the QB keeper, guys. It is back down to a 2-score game. The Sooners decide to go for two, as you would, down 48-36. Here's Hurts. All sorts of options. All sorts of time. CeeDee Lamb pulls it in, guys. It's a 10
with 5:36, though. I mean, that just like Kansas State has to find a way in this next drive to get a first down, at least a first down.
Can we remind the viewers, it was a 25-point game with 12 minutes and only 36 seconds in the fourth quarter. There's now a 10-point game.
See, this is for me. If Oklahoma comes back and wins this, it's a huge if with 5:36 left, but it validates them for me. And I know a lot of people would say, well, they went to Kansas State and struggled so badly. But to me, ultimately, if they can
Leave
go
it
into that
alone.
environment and struggle so mightily and then get
No,
Leave
man.
the egg alone,
My
I
vote.
say.
in terms of what I believe that they are, because I believe that the really good teams, they find a way to win. I feel like the ugly wins like they're going to maybe get today.
A non-championship team would fold right now. Right. You're down 25 in the fourth quarter. A non-playoff team, a non-legitimate contender would fold right now. If the Sooners can find a way, like you said, to dig deep and come back from down 25, can't say anything.
But if they don't, it's 180
No.
opposite that
No,
they,
man.
they don't deserve to be in the
No.
conversation because they've proven to me that they're not good enough
Come
to
on.
have one of these
Outside.
things and pull it out.
This is a conversation
Yeah.
for later in the day, maybe. I thought Baylor among the teams that would benefit the most if Oklahoma does lose. You think about what's on the line. Oklahoma's college football playoff chances, Heisman Trophy hopes for Jalen Hurts as well. 10-point game, you can see it right now on ABC. Meantime, the game you just saw earlier today, Iowa Northwestern, Nate Stanley, Tyrone Trace. How about some Hawkeyes offense?
You know, this is good to see them get a chunk play and
I wanna
explosive
watch
play, a big
Spain.
play on offense. They play so well on defense, but the Achilles heel has been plays like that, a long touchdown play, giving them a chance to compete against some really good teams in this country.
And then Mekhi Sargent from the yard. Now, this is a hard fought Iowa win today.
That's 1-2. Good win for Iowa. Sneaky, still 6-2.
Meantime, Purdue home to Illinois, who turned the college football world upside down.
Do
We
not
could go
focus.
into your letdown game, right? Wrong. Tony Adams, pick six.
Sometimes you know those games you're anticipating the letdown, but they're the springboard games. I think maybe that win last week was a little bit of a springboard.
Jack Plummer here, design, run, fumbles. Harding scoop and score, 29, well, not scoop and score, but 29-yard return. And then it sets up this Reggie Corbin 3 plays later.
Well, Coach, you said it last week. Illinois, coached by Lovie Smith, a phenomenal coach. His pedigree speaks for itself. The win over Wisconsin, you have to think, if you're in the locker room, after you beat Wisconsin, Lovie's going in there and he's saying, if you can beat Wisconsin, you can beat any team in the nation. That's what the coach is saying. So now when Illinois is going out on the field to play Purdue, they're like, man, we just beat Wisconsin.
Yeah.
What's Purdue to Wisconsin? And that's how you go out there and you dominate again.
And it starts with, as you said, right after the game, the message from the coach to the players, to the rest of the team is, okay, listen, how do we prepare this week? We prepared differently this week because we knew we were playing Wisconsin. If we could prepare that way every single week, especially going to this Purdue game, then who can beat us?
Exactly.
Wisconsin couldn't beat us when we prepare the way we prepared. Let's take that energy into every week.
And I have to say this because as a player, you know when the coach is telling the truth and when a coach is lying. So a coach can go in there and say, if we prepare like that, we can beat any team in the nation. And you know, like, man, we really can. but after beating Wisconsin, the coach's point, now when Lovie says it in the locker room afterwards, you're like, he's right.
And it is Lovie.
Exactly. You're like, he's right. If we play like that, we can beat anybody. And now you go beat Purdue, you start to believe it a little more and a little more and a little more.
You know who's believing it a little more and a little more? And the nation, I think, is finally starting to say, hey, maybe PJ Fleck is onto something there. Is this Minnesota team unbeaten? You're about to see them take on Maryland over on ESPN. They get the bye week next week. Do we expect a hungrier than normal Minnesota team, knowing that that's the case, or are they kind of limping into the bye week?
I think it'll be interesting to see how they handle Maryland's offensive speed. And if they can put a corral around that speed and play really good on defense and find a way to get a win today, then it just further legitimizes them for me. It's hard for me to say undefeated Minnesota in the hunt, but I think we have to recognize that is a reality.
But think about this. Minnesota, if they handle business today, they're sitting at 8-0.
Right.
Wisconsin's 6-2. Minnesota's head and shoulders above in the Big Ten West. I mean, they can easily roll. I know they do have a big one. Should be 2 weeks after or right after the bye. But Minnesota's looking great right now.
They play Penn State after the bye. They don't have to face Ohio State during the regular season, possibly in the Big Ten championship game, but a chance for Minnesota to move to 8-0. They haven't been 7-0 since 1960, the year they won the national championship. What Tommy DeVito and the Syracuse Orange would do to get to that mark, right? It's been a rough season so far. The offensive line has struggled, but it's a chance at redemption today. We're about 15 minutes away from kickoff in Tallahassee, Syracuse, and Florida State coming your way on ESPN2.
Is that
Quesadillas? Gordon Ramsay handing out samples. Seems like just an okay use of your culinary talents, dude.
Yeah, it is, smart guy. Almost like having a brand new iPhone, but not paired with AT&T.
That's true, Gordon Ramsay.
Hey, fingers! It's not a buffet. Use the cocktail stick.
Use a cocktail
Right.
stick.
Get the most from your new iPhone on AT&T, America's fastest network for iPhones. Switch now and get up to $700 off the new iPhones.
So, how's it look? I'm going to go with the front and rear floor liners. Yeah? I also went with the cargo liner. It's perfect. Huh.
Wow, this is taking a long time, folks.
Hey, you see they got a bigger bump step? Nice. So, how about the play? Oh, yeah.
Over here to your blanket.
Ball stands.
To put on the field stands.
Yeah.
Yours today at WeatherTech.com. The ultimate protection for your vehicle.
Hey, don't forget the cup, folks.
NFL Prime Time is back on Sunday nights, airing exclusively on ESPN Plus at 7:30 p.m. Eastern all season long.
All right, well, this is a look at how the day got started for us, right? They parachute into the stadium there at Northwestern before the Northwestern team nosedived and lost 20-0. But you know what? Things really got started earlier today in Brookings, South Dakota. This is a live look-in right now. North Dakota State, South Dakota State. Look at the trickery. And how about the Bison getting on the board there?
A little trickeration right there, Coach. Yep, that's a Chris Cotter coin phrase.
Mm-hmm. There's a flag on the play right now. What the Bison have done at the FCS level has been nothing short of remarkable in recent years. They've dominated competition, multiple national championships. But the Jackrabbits are the number 3 team in the country. This is 1 versus 3. You can see this game in its entirety right now on ESPN Plus. And a fabulous scene this morning in Brookings, South Dakota.
Phenomenal. They were out there at 4 a.m. this morning on College game day. These fans were ready.
First time game day made it to the state of South Dakota. It's a show that's been going on for 20 plus years. They've never been to South Dakota. An electric environment for 1 versus 3. Jackrabbits a 3-0 lead midway through the first quarter. That last touchdown negated by a holding penalty. So the Bison continuing 28 consecutive wins. You see the domination that they have had at the FCS level. It's a 3-0 game. Why don't we take a listen in to this game right now?
Wow, this is really well played by Don Gardner, coming up from his cornerback position, not letting Trey Lance get outside of him. Big DN was also in on that. That was Winkleman again, stringing that one out. Good contained defense by this Jackrabbit defense. Brings up a 3rd long.
Gardner at one corner. Diamond Evans is at the other corner, the true freshman for the Jackrabbits. It's 3rd and 26. A first down would be inside the 3-yard line. Lance going to go for it, and that's going to be out of the end zone, and it's... That was... Jackrabbit went sliding into the concrete over there. That's Diamond Evans.
Excuse me. As you see Trey Lance deliver that one to the flag. Really just looking for one of his guys to make a play. Puts that one out of play where no one can get to it. And at the end of this, you'll see, yes, number 17. That is Diamond Evans, who's good to go after being a little nicked up the last couple of weeks. Sliding on that concrete surface and going into the brick wall. He did run off for a little bit, but he's being held by the trainers.
So big turn of events, though, as North Dakota State has a touchdown wiped off because of the offensive pass interference. They go backwards now out to the 26-yard line.
Well, this 4th down, and the Bison offense is still on the field for now. Now, these Bison are not used to getting into the red zone and not scoring. They score touchdowns, but score inside the red zone at a 98% clip.
Opening drive for North.
All right, so number 1 versus number 3. You can see the rest of that game on ESPN Plus. North Dakota State, South Dakota State. Huge game, obviously, with national implications, but especially in that region. We are counting you down to Syracuse and Florida State here on ESPN2. Clayton Welch and the RA came on last week when Tommy DeVito went out with injury.
Tommy DeVito is beat to heck, so I think we're going to see some Clayton Welch.
The Orange looking for any sort of spark that they can get. 3 straight losses. They'll take on Florida State in just over 10 minutes.
Ursula, this place it's a mess. Clutter everywhere.
At Realtor.com, we bet you're not an ultra minimalist looking for an ultra spacious existence. You're a real person looking for a real home with enough room for your thoughts.
Don't give me that look. I know we need a bigger tub.
Search filters to find homes for the real of us. Realtor.com, the home of home search.
These days we're all stressed. I hear you, sister. That's why I'm partnering with Cigna to remind you to go in for your annual checkup and be open with your doctor about anything you feel, physically and emotionally. But now Cigna has a plan that can help everyone see stress differently. Just find a period of time to unwind, a location to de-stress, an activity to enjoy, or the name of someone to talk to. To create a plan that works for you, visit Cigna.com/mystressplan. Cigna, together, all the way.
Ready for any landscape challenge. Battery power, made by Steel, only at your local Steel dealer.
Are you ready for some football? Are you ready for October to get scary good as sleeper picks wake up and start handing out nightmares? Are you ready to change your password to Minshew 15?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the high notes are ready. The low notes are ready. The 12th manicure is ready. The underestimated, the overlooked, but looks exactly like you thought they would, are ready. Are you ready?
On air.
We're back on college football.
I'm a little wired up
We're
here.
worked up right now, huh?
Well, I don't understand. We're watching the Oklahoma game here in studio, and it's a little emotional. And you burn 20 seconds, and then you call timeout. That is an unprepared coach. And I love Lincoln Riley. He's fantastic. But those are the mistakes that absolutely kill you. Those are mistakes NFL coaches never make.
And when we're talking about the significance of that game, it's a 10-point Kansas State lead on Oklahoma, whose college football playoff hopes are hanging in the balance. You can see that game right now over on ABC. Kansas State leading Oklahoma. Appalachian State saying, hey, how about us? Undefeated. Maybe the best group of 5 team in college football. Zach Thomas, Thomas Hennigan, 7-0.
Nice throw in there on the seam route, Arch.
And then fourth quarter, Arch, Raekwon Anderson. Raekwon, the chef, 67 yards.
Stretch play and then just a little too much speed for the defensive backs. And then watch the breakaway right there. Reservation for 6.
30-3. The Mountaineers keep on keeping on. They move to 7-0 on the season. Texas A&M hosting Mississippi State. Kellen Mond, Javon Osmond, 19 yards.
See, Kellen Mond had a day. 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. First time in A&M since 2012.
Same score, Mond to Kendrick Rogers this time.
I like the way he hung in there. Knew he was going to take the hit and still deliver the throw.
Touchdown, 28-7 Aggies at that point. More from Mond. We've kind of been waiting to see this. He showed glimpses last season. We've kind of been waiting on it here in 2019.
That's not an easy throw. Rolling out to your left and rolling back on the crossing route.
Jalen Weidermeyer, 52-yard touchdown, made it 35-10. And then after all that, that kind of softens up the D. This time you hand it off to Isaiah Spiller. He can take it 4 yards.
That's just easy. Easy. You take your will slowly but surely, and then you come on late at the end.
49-30. Aggies try to get to 5-3 on the year. Meantime, on brave old Army team taking on San Jose State. Josh Love, Isaiah Hamilton.
Great ball by Love, and it's hard to go across the country and take on a Navy team that plays a different style than you're used to playing.
For a noon kickoff, right? Yep. And there's Love to Kyrie Robinson.
Yeah, Army right there, just getting beat. That linebacker can't run with that slot receiver.
23-17 game, start of the fourth quarter. That's Love to Bailey Gaither. Look at that concentration.
Good catch on a knee, bringing it in.
Fabulous grab. San Jose State would go for 2, get it, take a 31-17 lead on the banks of the Hudson. 34-29, 31 seconds to go. Pitt, Miami, what a game this was in the Steel City. Kenny Pickett intercepted by DJ Ivey.
Great game. 2 really fine defenses going at it. Pitt just gets after the passer. Miami takes the ball away. Fun to watch.
Acho Ivey's going to own that turnover chain.
No, this is how Miami wins their games when they win their games. Turnovers. Manny Diaz mantra as a defensive coordinator and now as a head coach.
Next drive, Cameron Harris, 1-yard touchdown run, but under a minute to go, we watched it live here. Jaron Williams to KJ Osborne.
Really gutsy throw. You got to make those tackles. Those are tackles Pitt usually makes.
Yep.
16-12. Miami hangs on. Look at those moves there, Acho.
Hey, I would dance when you can dance when you win, Casey. That's the thing. Especially when you were sitting at 3 and 4, you used to taking some L's. You better enjoy it when you win.
Meantime, we had about a minute to go. Great one over on ABC. Kansas State leading Oklahoma by a touchdown right now. Trying to hang on, Coach, with about 1:45 to go.
Yeah, they scored, and that's great. It was a field goal, and that's smart. My problem with the timeout was if you're gonna call it immediately, and if you're not gonna call it, run the play, but to let seconds off the clock and come back to haunt you, that's where it bothers me as an ex-coach. And but they just got me on side. It could be a point. It could be a new point, but those are mistakes that I tell you what, they can come back really quick.
Here's what I know. If Oklahoma comes back to win this, you have to think it's going to come down to Jalen Hurts' potential Heisman moment. If they don't, it's as crushing a loss as the Sooners can deal with.
They were trailing by 25 points. They just recovered the onside kick. A minute 43 to go. You can see that game over on ABC. Meantime, big one in the ACC right